Good morning, everyone. Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening, canning, recipes, a little bit of everything. It's about 7:45 on September the 1st. We're getting ready to plant our fall garden. I've already gotten one pass of the tiller through the garden and it was pretty rough. As you all know, we had a rough summer. We didn't get hardly any rain. We did get 7 inches, I don't know, about a month ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And the ground, of course, just absorbed it like crazy, but now it's already dry again, so it's going to be some rough tilling and some rough pulling up of the weeds. I know that you probably saw my garden a couple of weeks ago and it looked terrible. There was just not a whole heck of a lot I could have done over the summer. Trying to pull weeds in this ground when it's dry is like trying to pull something out of concrete. So I didn't get around to doing that, but we're going to sure try to get them up and get it cleared up today and get some things in the ground. Next week we're expecting some rain 4 or 5 days out of the week, and we're going into some significantly cooler temperatures, which is kind of odd, but we'll take it. I think by the end of the week we're supposed to be in the upper 80s, which is pretty odd for us here in Texas, where we usually don't get into the upper 80s until toward the end of September maybe. But anyway, we're going to take advantage of it, and we're going to get some seeds in the ground today. I don't know how much I'm going to get done. It is supposed to be about 97 degrees today, so I'm trying to get out here and get it done very quickly. These are some of our pepper plants that have survived over the summer. Want to note that we didn't get one pepper off of them, not one, but you can see they're starting to flower. I'm hoping that with the cooler weather and the rain next week, we'll start to see some growth on it before we get our first freeze. Last year, we got our first freeze on October the 28th. Very odd last year as well, but we did have a dry pattern that started about this time last year, and it lasted through this summer. I'm hoping that it changes this year. I know the Farmer's Almanac is saying that we're going to have a colder and wet winter, which I welcome anyway. So let's get started and let's see what I can get in the ground today, and let's get this fall garden going. Taking a break a little bit. That tiller is just bouncing all over the place and giving me a run for my money, but I'll show you what the ground looks like in a minute. Okay guys, it's starting to heat up a little bit. I've gone through it a couple of times with the tiller. I'll show you what the soil looks like. Come on. You can see we got a lot of this chickweed coming up. Good thing about it is it has very shallow root systems, and so it comes up really good with the tiller. We had this show up last year, which is really odd. I've never had it until last year, and boy, it's starting to come back. But you can see if I just take a rake, which I will, it pulls up and pretty much gets out of my way. But let's look at the soil. It's dry. It's so dry. I mean, it is dusty dry. When I'm tilling, it is shooting dust up behind me like crazy. Here's what the cracks are looking like in the yard. You know, after that rain, they all started kind of caving in, but when they do, let me show you what it does. It creates holes because the dirt caves into the cracks, and then what's not left creates a hole. So we're still pretty dry, but not as dry as we were. Look at the davits it left in the ground. Here's what our permaculture is looking like. My mint has survived, and it'll come back every year. I'm excited about that because we love our mint, and my zinnias have just loved it out here. I'm happy about that. I'm happy that something grew. And look, here's some cabbage I planted back in the spring. I'm gonna let it keep going, and hopefully as it gets colder, or cooler I should say, we might get a head of cabbage out of that. And then I had some little flowers around my apple tree. You can see that they're hanging on. And shazam, look at my pomegranates. They are doing really good. We've got them all over the tree. They're not ready to harvest yet. Pomegranates are usually in September, but it won't be long. It really is a very beautiful tree, and it does get quite large. So let's get back to tilling, see if I can't make a couple of passes, and then get the rake out, start raking away some of this chickweed and some of the other weeds, and let's try to get some things in the ground. Okay guys, it's looking better. You can see I took the rake Was able to rake the weeds away. Soil's looking a little bit better here. Getting ready to do some planting. Okay guys, let's talk seeds. Let's talk about what I'm going to plant today. I got my Detroit dark red beets. I've got my purple top white globe turnips. I've got my Bloomsdale long-standing spinach. And I have my Catskill Brussels sprouts. These are all things, oh, and some broccoli that are going to go in the ground today. Wanted to talk to you about my heirloom non-GMO seeds. My source normally is Baker Heirloom Seeds, and their website is rareseeds.com. They'll still be one of my main sources, but I found a new source this year. The reason why I went searching is because when I went to get my purple beet seeds, they were not available at Baker Heirloom Seeds. That should be a testament to how good their seeds are. But anyway, I found this other company, and they are called Everwild Farms. Can you see that? Anyway, I was very impressed. Number one, their seeds were very competitively priced. They are GMO free, and they are heirloom seeds. You can see that right here. But another thing that I really liked, or a couple of things I really liked about these seeds, is number one, they're in a Mylar foil pouch. And this will help me to keep them good for, I don't know, maybe a year or two until I get ready to plant them. But one of my most favorite things is, look here. Look at the bottom of this. And also that every man should enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of God, and that's Ecclesiastes 3:12. That is completely awesome to me, guys. Love it, love it, love it. And let me show you one of the other seed packs I have here. These are for next year. But God has made everything beautiful in His time, Ecclesiastes 3:11. Anyway, so I'm going to give these a shot. Let's see how they do. I'll be able to give you some feedback probably in the next couple of months as they start to germinate and grow. And I'll let you know how they do. But anyway, I'm really stoked about this company too. So now I have two seed sources. That is Baker Heirloom Seeds, and this is Everwild Farms. So Everwild Farms, I'm fixing to give you a try. Okay guys, I've wet it down a little bit just so I have something for the seeds to stick to. You saw earlier in the video how dry it was, and I need something for my seeds to stick to. Here we go. Here are my beet seeds. I've soaked them for about 2 hours. This will loosen them up, and this will help them to germinate a little bit quicker, especially since we're so warm. So, ready to go. Okay guys, I'm whooped. So what I've done is, for the turnip seeds, they're very little, is I broadcast spread them in a row, and then I took my rake and just raked over them lightly, watered them down real good. I did the same thing with my beet seeds on that row over there. Don't be surprised, they're not going to be straight when they start coming up, but I don't care. Anyway, I'm going to hold off for the broccoli and the spinach and the Brussels sprouts because I think it's still too hot for us here in Texas. I'll wait a couple of weeks and then I'll come out here and plant those, and I'll do another video. But so far, this is what we got done. Okay guys, that's my day's work. Wanted to show you our new addition to North Texas vegetable gardening and canning and recipes, a little bit of everything. We got us a little John Deere tractor. We have a back acre that we're going to start gardening and planting on in the next year or so. So we're getting prepared for that. Really excited to have it. It's going to come in handy around here. Even in the spring when we're planting. I don't know if you remember, if you go back and look at my spring planting video, you'll see I had 2 huge mounds of dirt delivered that we used all over the place actually, and we used it to modify my soil. I have to modify my soil frequently. But anyway, this is going to come in real handy when we get that soil delivered next year, and we use it to modify our soil, and also expanding our permaculture garden that we're going to do next year. There's something magical about putting a seed in the ground and watching it come up and knowing it's going to feed you and your family, and you can can it, you can eat it fresh, so many great things. Anyway, before you know it, it'll be time to plant our spring garden, but right now we're focusing on the fall garden, and my hurdle for the next couple of days will be keeping it damp and wet because it is about 97 degrees here, and we are expecting rain tomorrow night and throughout the week next week, and cooler temperatures. So I've got to be sure and come out here and water it frequently to keep those seeds wet so they'll germinate. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We do appreciate each and every one of you. We're looking forward to seeing your videos on fall gardening, and we've seen some of them already. But stay tuned. We have lots of great things happening. We'll be in touch, and I will be making more weekly videos as my seeds start to germinate. Take care. God bless. Have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Celebrate it with your friends and family. Give everybody a big hug and kiss. Take care.